In the story of American politics, few figures have shaped the Senate like Mitch McConnell. His name is synonymous with the inner workings of Congress, and his influence stretches far beyond the marble halls of the Capitol. Over the years, McConnell has become a symbol of both the power and the complexity of the legislative process. For decades, he's been a master strategist and a central force for the Republican Party, representing Kentucky since 1984. From his earliest days in the Senate, McConnell demonstrated a keen understanding of political maneuvering, quickly earning a reputation as someone who could get things done, often behind the scenes and often against the odds. McConnell's command of Senate rules and his relentless pursuit of his agenda have made him both a revered tactician and a formidable adversary. He's known for his ability to unite his party, outmaneuver his opponents, and use every tool at his disposal to advance his goals, whether in the majority or the minority. Rising steadily through the ranks, he became Senate Republican leader in 2007, holding the post for a record-breaking 18 years. During this time, he has weathered political storms, shifting alliances, and the ever-changing landscape of American government, always maintaining his grip on power. His tenure as both majority and minority leader has left a lasting imprint on the nation's laws and institutions. From judicial appointments to landmark legislation, McConnell's fingerprints are found on some of the most consequential decisions in recent history, shaping the direction of the country for generations. At 83, McConnell is an elder statesman whose career spans seismic shifts in American politics. He has witnessed, and often orchestrated, some of the most pivotal moments in the Senate, adapting to new challenges and remaining a constant presence as the nation has changed around him. His deep knowledge of Senate procedure has allowed him to pass and block legislation with unmatched skill. Colleagues and critics alike acknowledge his expertise, and even those who oppose him respect his ability to navigate the labyrinth of Senate rules. When McConnell is in the news, it's not just about his position. It's about the influence he wields and the direction of the country. His actions are closely watched, and his statements can shift the national conversation, reflecting the weight he carries in American politics. He is more than a senator. He's an institution within the institution. For many, McConnell represents the enduring traditions and the fierce battles of the United States Senate. And so, any event involving McConnell, especially one that tests his resilience, becomes a matter of national significance. His story is not just about one man, but about the ongoing struggle for power, influence, and legacy at the heart of American democracy. On Thursday, October 16, 2025, the Capitol buzzed with urgency, day 16 of a government shutdown. The air was thick with tension, as lawmakers, staffers, and journalists moved briskly through the marble corridors, each person acutely aware of the stakes. Outside, news crews clustered on the Capitol steps, broadcasting live updates to a nation anxiously awaiting resolution. Inside, the sense of anticipation was palpable, with every conversation tinged by the uncertainty of when or if the government would reopen. Senators hurried to cast crucial votes, their faces set with determination. Among them, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, flanked by his security detail, made his way through a familiar basement hallway. His steps, though measured, carried the weight of decades of political battles and the pressure of the moment. The corridors echoed with the sound of hurried footsteps and whispered strategy. As McConnell approached a busy intersection in the hallway, two young Sunrise Movement volunteers stepped forward, their voices urgent as they asked about ICE and immigration policy. Their presence was a reminder of the growing activism among the nation's youth and the Capitol's role as a stage for both power and protest. But McConnell, his mind fixed on the looming votes and the crisis at hand, didn't respond, his focus unbroken. Suddenly, video captured a startling moment. McConnell became visibly unsteady, his steps faltering. He reached out, briefly grabbing a security aide for support before stumbling and collapsing to the polished floor. The sound of his fall echoed down the hallway, drawing immediate attention from everyone nearby. The sight of the Senate's most enduring figure falling was jarring, instantly transforming a routine walk into a moment of deep concern. Bystanders froze, their faces registering shock and disbelief as the reality of the situation set in. In an instant, the Capitol's daily routine was upended. Security and police rushed to his side, joined by the volunteers who'd just questioned him. Their differences forgotten, everyone's attention turned to McConnell's well-being. The urgency of politics gave way to the urgency of human concern, as aides and officers worked together to assess the situation. The hallway, moments before just a thoroughfare, became the scene of a public health scare involving one of America's most recognizable politicians. The transformation was immediate. What had been a place of routine business was now filled with the sounds of radios crackling and medical personnel arriving. The incident was over in seconds, but the questions it raised about McConnell's well-being would linger far longer. Reporters huddled in corners, staffers whispered anxiously, and the story began to ripple outward, reaching every corner of the Capitol and beyond. The Capitol's daily drama had suddenly become deeply personal. For a brief moment, the political battles paused, replaced by a shared sense of vulnerability and uncertainty about the future. Across the country, Americans watched, wondering what this meant for McConnell and for the Senate itself. The day's events served as a stark reminder that even the most powerful are not immune to the unexpected, and that the fate of the nation can hinge on a single fragile moment. After his fall, McConnell's response was classic. Quiet determination, the kind that has defined his decades-long career in the Senate. Even as the shock of the moment lingered in the air, he quickly gathered himself, refusing to let the incident overshadow his responsibilities or his reputation for perseverance. A security aide and a Capitol police officer were immediately at his side, helping him to his feet. McConnell steadied himself, taking a moment to regain his composure. His focus was unwavering, his demeanor calm, as if determined to show that setbacks, no matter how public, would not deter him from his duties. He even managed a brief wave and a slight smile for the cameras, a subtle but clear signal to the press and the public that he was all right. It was a gesture meant to reassure, to project strength and stability in a moment of vulnerability. Rather than retreating to his office or taking time to recover in private, McConnell pressed on. He continued his walk to the Senate chamber, where critical votes and urgent legislative business awaited. His purposeful stride sent a message: his work would not be interrupted. Later, his spokesperson addressed the gathered press, assuring everyone that McConnell was all good. The statement was intended to quell any speculation about his condition and to reinforce the image of a leader undeterred by adversity. By resuming his duties almost immediately, McConnell sent a clear message. This fall was nothing more than a minor interruption, not a setback. He returned to his desk, reviewing documents and preparing for the votes ahead, determined to fulfill his responsibilities. In the midst of a government shutdown, every vote was crucial. McConnell's presence on the Senate floor underscored his commitment to his role and to the legislative process, especially at such a critical juncture for the country. He cast his votes as planned, participating fully in the session, and was expected to take part in additional votes later that day. His actions demonstrated a steadfast dedication to his duties, regardless of personal setbacks. The image of McConnell picking himself up and returning to work quickly became the dominant theme of the day's story. It was a powerful visual, one that spoke to resilience, resolve, and the ability to move forward despite challenges. Yet, the incident inevitably reignited debate about his health and fitness for office. Reporters and commentators questioned whether this was a sign of deeper issues or simply an isolated event in a long and demanding career. For McConnell, resilience was once again on display. But so were the questions about his future. As he faced the media, his determination was clear, but so too was the scrutiny that comes with leadership at the highest level. This wasn't McConnell's first public health scare. In 2023, a serious fall at a private dinner left him with a concussion and fractured rib, requiring hospitalization and lengthy rehab. His return to the Senate was marked by visible frailty and caution. That incident set a precedent. Any subsequent stumble drew heightened scrutiny. In addition, 2 public freezing episodes in 2023, where he abruptly stopped speaking and stared blankly, fueled speculation about his neurological health. Though doctors ruled out stroke or seizure, the unsettling moments lingered in the public mind. Each new incident, including this latest fall, is viewed through the lens of his established health history. The repeated scares have made McConnell's fitness for office a subject of ongoing debate. To understand McConnell's physical challenges, look back to his childhood battle with polio. At age 2, he was diagnosed with the disease, which left lasting weakness in his left leg. His mother's relentless rehabilitation efforts spared him from braces or crutches, but he's walked with a limp ever since. Navigating stairs and uneven ground has always required caution. This pre-existing condition makes him more vulnerable to falls, especially as he ages. McConnell often cites overcoming polio as a formative experience, shaping his discipline and resilience. It's a story that aligns with his political persona as a determined fighter. But the toll of polio, compounded by age, is now more apparent than ever. The shadow of his childhood illness continues to influence his present. In 2024, McConnell announced he would step down as Senate Republican leader, ending an 18-year run at the top. His decision, delivered from the Senate floor, marked the close of an era. While he didn't cite health as the reason, many saw his recent falls and freezing episodes as factors. The job's demands and the toll of recent years made way for a new generation of leadership. McConnell's departure from leadership was carefully timed, allowing him to control the narrative and ensure an orderly transition. His exit created a power vacuum, reshaping the Senate's internal dynamics. He would remain a senator, but his role would fundamentally change. The final chapter of his political career had begun. In February 2024, McConnell confirmed he wouldn't seek re-election, ending speculation about his future. His current term, set to end in January 2027, would be his last after more than 4 decades in the Senate. The announcement provided clarity for Kentucky and the nation, setting the stage for a competitive race to fill his seat. Free from the pressures of another campaign, McConnell could focus on legacy and issues he cares about. His final years would be a long farewell tour, transitioning from partisan leader to historical figure. Now, incidents like his fall are seen as markers of his final chapter, reminders of human frailty, even in the most iron-willed politicians. The end of his career is now in sight, casting his every move in the light of legacy. The focus on McConnell's health is amplified by the Senate's razor-thin margins. In a body where every vote counts, the absence of a key figure like McConnell could shift the balance of power. During the government shutdown, his determination to vote after his fall underscored the stakes. The health and age of political leaders have become central themes in American discourse, with McConnell's public scares fueling debate about age limits and fitness for office. For supporters, his resilience is inspiring. For critics, it's a sign his time should end. For many, his fall was a moment of human vulnerability that transcended politics. The nation watches closely, because McConnell's story touches on aging, power, and the demands of public life. His every move is now a matter of public interest. The question isn't just about McConnell, it's about the future of American leadership. As McConnell's final years unfold, every action is weighed against his vast legacy. He'll be remembered for reshaping the judiciary, blocking and confirming Supreme Court nominees, and mastering Senate procedure. His story is one of resilience, overcoming polio, outlasting rivals, and rebounding from public health scares. The image of him rising after a fall is a fitting metaphor for his career. Yet, his legacy is polarizing. A master of obstruction to some, a principled leader to others. His tactics fueled both gridlock and conservative victories, leaving a Senate forever changed. This latest incident is a poignant reminder that even the most powerful are not immune to time. McConnell's legacy will be debated, but his impact on American politics is undeniable.